Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome, man. Welcome to Beyond Classic Rock. Today, we've got a complimentary quad coming your way, man. And I'm going to call it an international mix. Mainly because these artists I have not heard of. And to me, it sounds like they are from all over the world. So that's why I'm calling it an international mix, not knowing anything specific. We're going to look at four different artists: Rosario La Tremendita, Ibrahim, Maalouf, Vulfpeck and Thile, and Sound of Noise. So that's what we're going to do, man. Now, some of the titles of their pieces are a little abstract, and one piece I can't even pronounce. So I'll just wing it and try my best, man. But before I pop this off, I just want to give a shout out and a thanks to VoiceOver. Thanks very much for the recommendation. VoiceOver says, I chose these four as they stretch well-known musical borders, which always is of interest to me when I want to widen my musical horizon. Okay, well, you're certainly stretching and widening ours as well, man. So let's start with Rosario La Tremendita. And I'm not even going to read the title to this song, man. Here it is. That's the title to the song. So let's check this out. And what we'll do with this, man, is we'll just focus on artist details. Whenever I'm doing things where it's a lot of international artists, I find that trying to hunt down song information is almost an impossible thing to do. So I just focus on the artists themselves. So let's do that, man. All right, Rosa La Tremendita. Let's get it. Video. Cheers. No sexy sax, what the hell?
Viene siendo tu gloria y mi dolor es tu placer en la noche que nos tumba por la noche, tu piel con mi piel arde, vamos escuchando, vamos andando en el silencio, vamos gritando y liberando ya la bestia por la noche, mi amor, yo la curaba fría por la noche anduve yo. Es que la nena la quiero yo, es que la nena la chica y me muero, es que la nena la quiero, es que la nena la chica y un cuero, en el silencio vamos gritando y liberando que ya la vega vega que por la noche me anda llamando y liberando que ya la vega vega que por la noche me anda llamando.
Good recovery. Really good recovery.
vamos gritando en el silencio, vamos escuchando y liberando ya la bestia por la noche me llamó. Y en la ciudad vacía por la noche anduve yo. Es que la nena la quiere por Dios, es que la nena la tiene en el vuelo, es que la nena la quiere el amor, es que la nena la tiene en un vuelo, en el silencio vamos gritando. Y liberando que ya la veguete que por la noche me andan llamando. Y liberando que ya la veguete que por la noche me andan llamando. Y liberando que ya la veguete que por la noche me andan llamando. Y liberando ya la bestia por la noche me andan llamando. Y liberando que ya la veguete que por la noche me andan llamando. Y liberando que ya la veguete que por la noche.
Excellent. The whole band, the whole ensemble. Yeah, look at all of those people. 10 people. Creating masterful works, man. Fantastic. And I'll do my very best to make sure that the closed captioning translation is on. Sometimes it's available, sometimes it isn't. But I'll do my best to make sure, or I'll try anyway. That was excellent. That was excellent, man. Sometimes great music is just great music. You go by the signature sound, you go by the vocals, you go by all the other things, and sometimes you don't even need the English translation. And this is a really good example of that. Right on. I can see why you like having your horizon stretched listening to pieces like this voiceover. All right. By the way, are you actually a voiceover artist, man? Do you actually lend voice to certain works? Are you a narrator? Do you do novels, commercials? What do you do, man? Are you actually a voiceover artist? Let me know. I call him voiceover. I know it's a gent because he has not given me permission to address him by his actual name. So until I actually get permission, I'll only use the person's actual call name, right? Or username rather. So yeah, really excellent. But I've always wondered that about you, voiceover. Let me know if you are a voiceover artist, man, and send me samples of your work. I'll definitely play it on my channel, give you a little spotlight. All right. Excuse me. I've been drinking coffee this morning before I started with my sugarcane rum, and this is what happens. So let us take a look at this artist a little closer, and then we'll go on to our next. Now, our voiceover says about Rosario, she mixes jazz with Spanish folk flamenco music. He saw her live a few years ago, and it blew him away. Fantastic, yeah, it would blow me away as well. So, about Rosario La Tremendita. Rosario was born in Sevilla in 1984 into a family of singers and dancers. From a very early age, she accompanied her father, the singer Jose La Tremendita, at local fairs and festivals. Even as a child, she earned the adoration of the public for her special way of singing. La Tremendita has performed in Spain's most prestigious venues. In addition to performing at festivals, homages, and competitions, she had made several local and national TV appearances. During the course of her career, she has shared the stage with such artists as Holy Cow. Look at the list. And not only is it a long-ass list, but there's no way I can properly pronounce all of these names. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to skip this big-ass list. The new voice of flamenco. In 2004, Rosario received the Manolo Carrallo Award for her Soleo por Baleares at highly competitive and prestigious the 15th national competition in Cordoba. In 2005, she toured Spain and France, performing in Paris and Toulouse and appearing at the Nimes Flamenco Festival. She also presented her first recital at the Jerez Flamenco Festival. In 2006, Rosario began working with dancer and choreographer Belen Mayo, touring with Debuyos, a show staged to critical acclaim throughout Europe and the Americas. In 2007, again in collaboration with Maya, she joined the Spectacular Souvenir, a co-production with the renowned, El Mercat de les Flores of Barcelona. Rosario also works with dancer Rocio Molina in production Por el Desert de la Gente, while keeping a full schedule of recitals throughout Spain, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Mexico. Busy lady. All right, let's stop there. Because the rest of it is just stuff that it's literally I'm going to need translation to try and pronounce. And I'm just going to butcher everything. So let's not do that, man. So let's check out our next track. And that being Ibrahim Maalouf. And he is live in Beirut. And it's over 12 minutes long. So yeah, it's a long piece, man. And voiceover, just so you know, I typically, especially for complimentary quads, I don't like numbers longer than 10 minutes. I prefer them to be under 10 minutes, preferably 5 to 8 minutes long at best, right? Especially because a lot of people, if they're sending me quads, some numbers, each of them can be like 15 minutes long, so it gets a little bit much and I lose control of my timeline, right? Just so you know. All right. So, Ibrahim Maalouf, live in Beirut, and it doesn't say what the name of the number is that they're performing or that he's performing. Let's get it. this mood music. It isn't just a piano involved here, it's also a guitar, isn't there? An acoustic guitar. That's what I'm hearing as well. Maybe I'm wrong. Waiting for. That was something. Sublime, sublime. A little bit of thunder.
François Delporte à la guitare, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah, I don't blame the crowd. That was excellent. That was fantastic. Especially at first when I saw that it's almost 13 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, man. How's it going to keep me interested and focused for 13 minutes? But that was really, really good. Very, very good, man. Got a very nice, serene vibe. I mentioned it being mood music. That's kind of like, I don't know if that's an actual coined phrase to describe a piece of works, but yeah, to me, that's mood music, man. So, Ibrahim Maalouf, born the 5th of November 1980 in Beirut, is a French-Lebanese jazz trumpeter and composer. His father is trumpeter Nassim Maalouf, and his mother is pianist Neda Maalouf. His uncle is the writer Amin Maalouf, and his grandfather was the journalist, poet, and musicologist Rushdie Maalouf. After leaving his home country as a child during the Lebanese Civil War, he grew up in Paris with his sister Layla. He studied there until the age of 17 and earned a degree in general science and specialized mathematics from the Lycée Geoffroy Saint-Hilaire in Étampes, Sion. From 2006 to 2013, Maalouf was a trumpeter instructor at the CNR of Aubervilliers-le-Carnevier in France. Damn, I'm awful at this. In 2000, Maalouf met producer Marc-Antoine Moreau, who introduced him to the cellist Vincent Segal. It was the beginning of a long and fruitful series of encounters. In November 2008, Maalouf played the opera Welcome to the Voice at the Chalet Theatre in Paris, composed by Steve Neve and directed by Muriel Kaduri. Maalouf encountered on stage with Elvis Costello, Sylvia Schwartz, and Sting, who played the lead role. Sting asked him to play on his album If on a Winter's Night. Maalouf has composed music since he was very young. He presented his compositions for the first time in '99. His first group, Farah, had an Oriental jazz flavor because he was accompanied by saxophonist Hanay, a Middle Eastern end blown flute, a transverse flute, a piano, a double bass, a guitar, a bouzuk, B-U-Z-U-K, which is a long net fretted flute related to the Greek bouzouki, and Arabic percussion. A concert recording by this group was broadcast on several music channels between 2004 and 2005. In 2004, his encounter with Behessa de Sala opened the doors of electronic music to him. His collaboration with pop and rock singers made him discover other musical styles apart from jazz, classical, and Arabic music. His compositions began to reflect a more contemporary style. In 2006, he met Alejandro Norabuna Skira from the SACEM's Action Fund, SACEM, S-A-C-E-M, who introduced him to Jean-Louis Perrier. Perrier helped him to form the band with whom he gave a concert on February 12, 2006 at the Paris New Morning Jazz Club. His music and his trumpet playing are inspired by his Arabic culture, but the surrounding instruments and the musicians with whom he performs give a rock, electronic, and jazz funk flavor to his music. Maalouf gets a lot of his inspiration from his culture of origin. This subject has been explored in the documentary Souffle, which means blow, directed by Christophe Trehand and produced by Coquettes Minutes between 2005 and 2006. Christophe Trehand followed Ibrahim for several months, pursuing the key to his inspiration and to explore his relationship with his native country and the distance that separates him from it. This documentary was broadcast by TV5 Monday and is available on DVD in the collection Darknet Films. Awards. Wow. Between 1999 and 2003, Maalouf earned awards in 15 competitions throughout the world. These include first prize in the Hungarian International Trumpet Competition in May of 2005, first prize in the National Trumpet Competition, Washington in 2001, and second prize in the Maurice Andre International Competition in Paris in 2003. In July 2010, he was given the Instrumental Revelation of the Year at the French Jazz Music Awards. He won Best World Music Artist at the French Music Awards in 2014. Wow, that is quite an accomplished person, man. So, we're gonna hit up our third track, and that being Vulfpeck and Thile, and it's just titled Live from Here. So, Vulfpeck, Thile, Live from Here. Let's get it. He's channeling Bootsy. Is this Thile? man, that is a jam. Fantastic. That is a great jam. Right on. So that's Thile. Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Does Thile not host like an outdoor concert? I could have sworn that he was a host of an outdoor concert featuring, what were those ladies called? 1, 2, 3. I believe there were 3 ladies. 2 of them were sisters. It was in a quad a couple of months back. You know who I'm talking about, Thile. I'm pretty sure it's the same lad. He's got the same look, wears the same suit and everything. I'm pretty sure that's who that is, man. The world is a vast ocean of music and personalities in it, let me tell you. That was excellent, man. That was a great, great jam. All right, so first let's do Vulfpeck. So, but first, what voiceover says is no idea how well these guys are known in the US and Canada, but they were new to me, and this particular song is such an explosion of pure improvisational, funky passion and creativity. Thile is a world-class mandolin player, very well known for basically jumping over every style and being able to pretty much play any kind of music with it. Quite amazing. Okay, sounds great. Now let's focus on Vulfpeck first, and then Chris after. So Vulfpeck is an American funk group founded in 2011. The band has released 4 EPs, 6 albums, and a silent album on Spotify titled Sleepify, royalties from which funded Vulfpeck's admission-free tour in 2014. The band's most recent album, The Joy of Music, The Job of Real Estate, was released in October 2020. The band members attended University of Michigan's music school. They first came together as a rhythm section for a performance at the Duderstad Center, a university facility that houses an arts library and other resources. After reading an interview with German producer Reinhold Mack, band founder Jack Stratton conceived of Vulfpeck as an imagined German version of the US session musicians of the 60s, such as the Funk Brothers, the Wrecking Crew, and Muscle Shoals. The idea was to channel that era of the live rhythm section. Oh man. Muscle Shoals. I tell you, what a fantastic. I did a reaction to the documentary, The History of Muscle Shoals. Yo, you gotta check that out. It's on my classic platform. I just love that, man. Thile. Christopher Scott Thile is an American mandolinist, singer, songwriter, composer, and radio personality, best known for his work in the progressive acoustic trio Nickel Creek and the acoustic folk and progressive bluegrass quintet Punch Brothers. He is a 2011 MacArthur Fellow. In October of 2016, he became the host of the radio variety show A Prairie Home Companion, which in December of 2017 was renamed Live From Here. Okay. Thile has released solo albums, including Not All Who Wander Are Lost in 2001 and 2004's Deceiver, on which he wrote, composed, sang, and played every part. In 2008, Thile released a collaboration album with bassist Edgar Meyer, and he also plans to release a collaborative album with Hilary Hahn. All right, man. So that is the info given for this really, really excellent fusion of 2 musical entities. Really, really fantastic jam. Holy cow. What a jam. And of course, that was 5 minutes, but they could have probably extended that to well over 10 minutes, I'm sure. So our last up is Sound of Noise. And voiceover says, I discovered through a movie of the same name, which is absolutely a must-see for any music lover in general and drummer in particular. The song I've linked inspired them to later in the movie. Okay, so voiceover says Sound of Noise is definitely worth our time, so let's check it out, man. Sound of Noise. And yeah, it's almost 10 minutes long, so damn. And it says music for 1 apartment and 6 drummers, the long version. Sound of Noise. Let's get it. Is that an old Volvo? What year are we talking about here, man? Doesn't give the year.
Det ser ut att kunna bli en fin dag då.
This is so 70s, man. I like this shit already. Get out of here, man. Spilling the cat's water. They're like a task force. I like how they waited until the occupants of the apartment left. On to the next apartment. Puts everything back the way it was. Fill up the cat's water again. Oh no, they're on to the bedroom. Damn. Was that a condom? No, it's the 70s. What is that stretchy thing? This is killing me, man. Chanel number 5. And it smells like Chanel number 5, man. What is that stretchy thing, y'all? It's gonna have a nice smelling apartment. Aqua Fresh. Remington shaver. Looks like he's taking a piss, doesn't it? Mission accomplished. On to the next. This is entertaining as hell. Is that an old filter queen? I like how they're so serious. They're not smiling at each other. They're taking this shit serious.
kronor, $125
Is that a
stycket eller
Cookie Monster or a
269 kronor. Det är
Grimace?
priset för de gula aktier som börsen Qualcomm bjuder till försäljning på marknaden. Vara 5 mot belopp, storlek A 250 gram, B 12 465 och slutligen C 23.
Ja, det var skönt att komma ut ett tag.
Busted. Wow. So along the way, with all of that precision, I think his watch stopped. Hilarious. That was really entertaining. Creative. I love how serious they are, like it's a mission. They're a task force. The couple leaves their apartment, and time and precision, they go in, they straighten everything out, they fix everything. I wanted to actually see them put those books back in order and refill the little dog's water dish, man. That was really cool. Very, very creative. Sound of Noise. Music for one apartment. And 6 drummers. Okay. That was cool. That was really cool. So, Sound of Noise. Sound of Noise. Sound of Noise is a 2010 Swedish-French comedy crime film written and directed by Ola Simonson and Johan St. Jarne Nilsson. It tells the story of a group of musicians who illegally perform music on objects in the various institutions of a city. The film is a follow-up to Music for One Apartment and 6 Drummers, the 2001 short film made by the same directors with the same basic concept. The title comes from the Italian futurist Luigi Russolo's 1913 manifesto, The Art of Noises. Plot. A group of 6 anarchist drummers, led by musician Sanna Persson and a conductor named Magnus, set out to make music with objects that are generally considered non-musical. They plan out a concert with 4 humorously titled movements to be played across the city after carefully analyzing what objects can be used to make good music. All the while, the group is pursued by Amadeus Warnerbring, a tone-deaf policeman born into a distinguished musical family who hates the sound of music. I actually knew someone in the military who hated music. The group begins by playing in a surgery room with a notable TV reporter who has been admitted to the hospital for hemorrhoid surgery. Their next piece is set in a bank where they ostensibly hold up the staff and customers. They then feed banknotes into the shredding machine for a distorted bass sound. Okay, so I gotta watch the whole film. The next piece uses bulldozers thumping the ground at the fountain in front of an opera house. For the crescendo, they strike the fountain, knocking it to the ground. The last piece involves them hanging from high-tension power cables and playing the suspended cables like violins. Damn. Warnbring eventually comes to realize that the objects and people used by the anarchist as instruments are rendered silent to his ears after the fact due to his tone deafness. From this, he forms a plan to force the drummers into using the entire city as an instrument by way of rhythmically controlling the power supply. The plan succeeds. Persson observes that the ambient sounds around her have become musical, while Warnerbring can hear no such sounds. The film ends with the anarchist exiled from the city and performing as a lounge act, while Warnerbring enjoys a silent orchestral concert elsewhere. Okay. I gotta watch the whole film now. Critical response. The film received a 91% rating on reviewer aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes with an average rating of 7.1 out of 10 based on 23 critics. The website's critical consensus reads, Sound of Noise is a raucous, irreverent comedy caper with good tunes and a romantic finish. On Metacritic, the film has an average score of 72 out of 100 based on 9 critics indicating generally favorable reviews. Peter Burnett of The Hollywood Reporter called the basic premise of the film one of the most imaginative you'll ever see. It's all based on music, raw, elemental, and percussive, out of which genuine laughs are wrung from beginning to end. He noted the film's understated but cute rom-com aspect and described the sketches as brilliantly conceptualized and flawlessly executed. The editing and sound mix are snappy, and delightful animations perk up the film visually. Sound of Noise may be small in scope, but in terms of imagination, it's huge. He similarly commented that the right niche distributor might coax some modest profits from the film. That was really brilliant, man. Very, very creative, let me tell you. And some really, really good planning, even in the plot and the concept. I like how serious they are. They're a task force. They're not just a bunch of kids out for, thrills and giggles. They are not even smiling at each other. They are operators. They're soldiers. They are a specialized task force. I love that premise. All right, man. So that concludes our look at this, international quad mix, as I'm calling it. Really, really interesting and good diversity there, voiceover. Like you said, you chose these to stretch well-known musical borders, and it certainly has done that. I enjoyed all of this, man. All of these 4 different pieces were very, very good in their own way. So, I'm running a little bit late here on both of my platforms, so apologies for that. I gotta get to reactions for John, Freddie, and Cat Jack, Joshua, and a couple of new patrons coming in, a couple of my old subscribers as well. So that is what I've got coming up, and it's a variety of things, some funk grooves, some progressive metal, some folk rock. I know that there's some soul grooves, and I think some disco jams coming up too. So all kinds of different things, man, on this platform. So thanks again, voiceover. Yes, and I know that I've got another kind of like a classical jam recommendation of yours coming up in the next week or so as well. So I'm looking forward to that too. You've so far that you've been with me, you submitted some very, very interesting reaction recommendations. All of them good so far. All right, man. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed this. The variety on this channel is just really excellent, man. And from one day to another, don't know what the hell to expect. And that's a really good thing where it comes to music and all of the different things from around the world. I read comments and they're all saying, wow, I would never have discovered this, or this if I had not tuned into this platform. So, hey, it's working. It's a really good deal. Anyways, y'all, have a good one. Take care. And next time you see me it will be tomorrow. I'm not quite sure who specifically tomorrow, but you'll see me tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace.